It is a buckball, 31 caliber. This is a rare find for this site here. Talk about scare somebody to death. I like finding those big old 69s. That pinpointer is 9 inches, and this piece of epaulette or shoulder scale was right in the bottom of that. Well, they've cut the hay off of this picket post that is associated with the Civil War camp that I and others have worked over the last probably 3 years. And I'm not going to pan around because I'd give up too much information. But to the left of the screen is where the camp is, probably 1/4 of a mile. I would say maybe a little bit over that. I've got a hole here, and I found several bullets up in this area right here. Here's a little fired round ball. I'm guessing that is probably a 36. It's bigger than a 31. It's bigger than a buckball. So I figure that it's a 36, but that's a good find. It's a fairly deep hole there. You talk about scare somebody to death. 107, that's an old cow tag, I guess. Brass. Man. I dug down there and seen that, and I sure thought I had a plate. Dadgummit, that makes me mad. But it's a good find. Out of that hole there, center screen, you see it. It's a little 31 caliber buckball. I have found several round balls right up here on this little knoll that I'm hunting on right now. But that's another good find, another piece of Civil War history. So here was a fairly good signal. It was about 6 inches deep, and it is a fired 69. I think I kissed it just a little bit right there with a shovel. That's all right. It's already mangled up a little bit. I like finding those big old 69s. Just been a minute. I found that 69 fired round ball right there, and I believe I found one of the 31 buckballs. It's also been fired, probably out of the same load. They should probably be 2 more of those around here somewhere, but this is a real scratchy light signal. But the CTX picked it up this morning. We've got some rain, but I tell you, this ground is still very hard right here. We need a lot more. And I've got a fired 36, what it looks like to me. A lot of round balls up here. Haven't found any mini balls in this area that I'm working right now. All 69s and bucks and 36s, maybe a 40 or 2. But that's another Civil War bullet. Still up on this picket post. And I tell you what, a man, and that's a pretty deep hole there, a man ought to only get 1 heart attack a day. I've got another one of those big tags, and I'm probably, I don't know, 200 yards from where I found the other one. This one here is 101. It's a great find, but these are scaring me to death. I want to do a shout out today to North Texas Metal Detecting. You see his channel there on your screen. It's a good guy. He makes some good videos, makes some good finds, always commenting on my channel, and I certainly do appreciate that. So check him out, North Texas Metal Detecting. Like, subscribe, and share. And be sure and tell him that 7 sent you. Just down the hill from where I found that last fired round ball, and I've got another. That's got to be a 36. It's too big for a buck. Little action right in here. Check this out right here, about 6 inches down. I've got a 69 round ball. Sweet. I love finding these big old 69 round balls. That there's been fired. Sure has. Just over from where I found that 69 caliber round ball. I've got part of an old pocket knife. I don't know if that would be period or not. This land has been farmed for years and years since the skirmish that took place on this knoll up here. Anyway, it's a good find. I'm just up a little ways from where I found that piece of a knife, and I've got one in the clod right there. Check it out. That's either a 36 or a 40. I'll have to measure and weigh it. Another round ball. Right there in the center of the screen, right there, is another round ball in situ. Oh, that's been fired. Sure has. I thought that was going to be just round. It's not. That's a great big ball there. That's got to be a 40. Another good Civil War relic. This is a rare find for this site here. I don't find any buttons up here. But this is a 2-hole sewing button. I found these before at Civil War sites, so I trust that they are period. It's a good find. That hole's probably about 6 inches deep, and you can see it there, center screen. It is a buck ball, 31 caliber, up here on the Civil War site. That one came in mostly iron on the CTX and Relic mode, but I was getting a 11 or 12, 13 every now and then in there. Just enough to cause me to dig it, but I'm glad I did. That's a good find. Still up on my Civil War site, and I've got a hole here that's probably about 4 inches deep, and I've got an iron buckle. I would suspect that that's probably off of a bridle or a saddle, and I would assume that it's Civil War related. Everything else up here is. So it's a good find. I've got my 5x8 coil on, and I want you to look. That pin pointer is 9 inches long, and it's right in the bottom. And this piece of epaulette or shoulder scale was right in the bottom of that. It's fairly good signal. I mean, it was a little choppy, but it was good enough to dig. So don't discount that 5x8 coil as far as getting some depth. And this ground is, well, it's not bone dry, but it's pretty dry. Anyway, that is a great find this morning. I'll take it. When I can, I like to include a little bit of history. A lot of you may not know what a shoulder scale or an epaulette is. It was a brass piece that was wore on the shoulder of Civil War soldiers, and many times it would show the soldier's rank. You see a picture here of what it would look like on a uniform, and now you see a picture of a close-up of what the epaulette actually looked like. In this final picture, you see some of the pieces of the epaulette that would be in the middle of it. And if you notice, the piece that I found has the T-slot in it. So this piece would have been at the very top of the epaulette, and that's where the latch would go through and latch it to the shoulder. So now you know what an epaulette is.